You know, when you hear the word government, what pops into your head? Probably some big, distant building, right? National leaders on TV? But what if I told you the real practice of liberty, the stuff that actually matters, happens way closer to home? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into.
And this one idea, it kind of changes everything. It's asking us to just shift our focus, look away from the national stage for a second, and zoom in, way in, to our own neighborhoods. Why? Because that's where what you do can make a real, tangible difference.
So you can almost think of it as a tale of two governments. On one hand, you've got these far-off buildings and abstract headlines, stuff that can feel totally out of your control. But then, on the other hand, you have your town, your neighbors, the stuff you see every single day. See, local government isn't some out-there concept. Nope, it's right here, and it's shaping the world you walk through every single day.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. Why does this local stuff matter so much? I mean, why is a decision made in your town hall potentially more important to your daily life than something happening hundreds of miles away in the capital?
I mean, just think about it for a second. We're not talking about abstract policy debates here. We're talking about the quality of your kid's school, the books in your library. We're talking about whether that annoying pothole on your street ever gets fixed. It's about public safety, zoning rules for new businesses, the very standards of your community. This is where government gets personal. It gets real.
All right, so who are these people calling the shots on all this stuff? Well, the answer might surprise you. It's probably a lot simpler and way more accessible than you'd guess.
So you've got the official bodies, right? The city councils, the school boards, the planning and zoning commissions. These are kind of the engines of local government. And hey, they might not be making the national news, but a decision from one of them, say about zoning, could impact your life, even your wallet, way more than some bill being debated in Congress. Their power to shape your town's future is just immense.
But here's the really cool part. The people on these boards, they're not some far-off politicians. They're your neighbors. They're fellow parents from school. They're the people who own the local businesses you shop at. They sit in the same traffic you do, they go to the same grocery store, and that makes all the difference, because it means they're accountable in a totally different way.
And you know what? Leadership isn't just about having a title. Not at all. It's the person coaching youth sports, it's someone serving on a nonprofit board, it's that neighbor who's always organizing things to make the street better. These are the real heroes building a strong community from the ground up.
So, what happens when regular folks like you and me decide to get involved? What are the actual tangible benefits of just showing up? Let me tell you, the results can be absolutely transformative.
It's like this incredible ripple effect. It all starts with one person, you, deciding to engage. Suddenly, the government has to be more transparent. And when that happens, the policies start to actually reflect what people need. Then you and your neighbors start to feel more confident, more in control. And you know what else? The loudest, most extreme voices, they start to lose their power. And it all begins with just showing up.
And don't forget the example you're setting. The next generation? They're watching. They learn what it means to be a citizen by seeing what you do. When they see you go to a school board meeting or volunteer or even just help out a neighbor without making a big deal about it, they learn that citizenship isn't about grand gestures. It's a daily practice of just caring.
Now look, I get it. This isn't always easy. There are real reasons why people hesitate. You might be thinking, I'm not qualified, or I'm just way too busy, or I don't even know what's going on. And you know what? Those feelings are totally valid and super common.
But here's the empowering truth that I really want you to hear. Local government was designed for ordinary citizens, not for experts, not for political junkies, for you. You don't have to be an expert to show up. In fact, showing up is how you become informed. Participation itself is the best teacher.
Okay, so let's turn all this talk into action. How do we go from just being a spectator in our community to actually being a part of it? Let's make a plan.
First things first, just ask yourself, what local decisions actually affect my day-to-day life? Seriously, think about your commute this morning or the park you take your kids to. Some decision, somewhere, made those things the way they are. That's the connection we need to make.
Second question, where could my voice, my presence, actually make a difference? Maybe there's a conversation happening about schools, or a new building, or the local park. A conversation that needs your perspective. Where is that place?
And last but definitely not least, what kind of example are you setting? For your kids, for your neighbors, for your friends? Every little thing you do creates a model for others. That's a huge, powerful thing.
Okay,
let's make this super practical. Here is a simple action plan for this week. And hey, don't feel like you have to do everything. Just pick one. Find out when the city council meets, watch 5 minutes of a school board meeting online, find a local official, and just say thank you. Seriously, these little things, they are the absolute bedrock of a healthy community.
Because at the end of the day, it really all boils down to this. You can't have a strong nation if you don't have strong communities. And strong communities, they don't just happen. They're built one day at a time by people, by citizens who decide to show up, to look out for their neighbors, and to practice what it means to be free right where it counts the most, right at home.